So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, my phone is literally blowing off. Like since yesterday, since the Conor Benn fight, things have been kicking off. Like I've been going back and forth with people on Facebook because obviously, most of you know that I got a bit of Facebook group. And you know what? I've had to block a few people. Just, you see people coming back and forth, and it's just like, you know what? This social media stuff is not it's not something I want to get too much into, because you know what, you got all kinds of kind of nutters on social media, and it's just like, you know what, I don't really want to get involved. I'll hopefully be doing a live stream later, so just to let you guys know, so hope you guys can come on. But yeah, try not to get involved in social media. It can start playing games with your head, and I'm starting to stay away. I'm starting to try to stay away from even commenting and just keep away, because because of what I do and this YouTube stuff, I've got too much into social media and like replying to people. And then when you see people talking crap, you go and have a start, saying, what are you talking? You're talking nonsense. And since yesterday, things have been kicking off with Conor Benn calling out Amir Khan. And it's just like, I was like, I'm just going to stay away. I can't be asked. I can't be asked with getting involved and just doing my stuff on YouTube. Because at the end of the day, I just can't be asked. I can't be asked with people and going back and forth with people. So I've literally, you know what? When I get into an argument with someone, I just block them. Like I literally just block them because I can't be asked. I can't be asked. Social media takes a lot out of you, drains a lot of energy. Like I can't. When I do the live stream, sometimes I'm knackered, man. I'm knackered, and right now I'm on holiday. Like, it gets tough, man. Social media is very draining. Doing all this Facebook group, it's like a full-time job. It's very draining, man. And sometimes you need to take a break from that stuff. Just give yourself a rest. Give your mind rest, Like I was watching the Leicester game. That didn't go too well because Leicester lost. Just like to give myself a little bit of a break. I don't want to get into social media too much where, it takes over your life and it starts affecting you, mentally. So that's why I'm just going to hopefully just do my videos, do my stuff, and stay away from social media, because it does play with your head. But yeah, let's talk about boxing. Let's get into it. Amir Khan's come out and responded to Conor Benn, saying that, listen, at your age I was a world champion. Basically saying he's not interested in the fight, and saying that, if he had a few belts he'd be interested, but obviously he's not really interested. Now listen, what I will say is this, right? Don't get into the agenda of just what certain people do. There's a lot of people out there that just hate on Amir Khan for the sake of hating it. They're pushing an agenda. Don't do that. Don't become one of them trolls, right? That just hates on the guy because they're pushing an agenda. There's many people when it's about Amir Khan that come out from the woodwork, the closet. The closet? There's a closet there. The closet racists that are in the closet, they come out to hate on Amir Khan, right? By no means am I saying... everybody knows that I've been a fan of his, right? And everybody knows that I've criticized him on my channel as well. It's not like I always talk good about him, right? I've also said that there's many fighters I feel like he would have lost to. But there's many people that come out of the closet and start being very disrespectful, that have always been disrespectful to him. Always been very disrespectful. Don't be one of those trolls that come out just to troll him because you pushing an agenda. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that have inbuilt hatred for Amir Khan. So irrespective of what he does, who he beats, when he loses, they get satisfaction out of it. When he wins, it upsets them. It's not about Conor Benn. It's about people wanting to see Amir Khan get knocked out. And that's the sad thing. This is a guy that won a silver medal at the age of 17. Unified a division at Conor Benn's age, younger than Conor. He unified at 23, 24, 23, very young. Conor Benn's not yet to fight one former world champion yet. Amir Khan was a silver medalist at 17, the youngest British Olympian ever. Unheard of to win a silver medal at 17. But every time you hear about Amir Khan, glass jaw, rubbish, this, that, who's he beat? But yeah, when people talk about Hatton got beat by all the best guys that he fought. He beat a washed up Costa. He beat a washed up Castillo. Those are the biggest names on his resume. The two best fighters he fought in Hatton and in Mayweather and Pacquiao, he got blown away as well. So I don't understand the hate for Amir Khan. I feel like it's a bit, it's like Joe Gallagher said, put some respect on his name. At the same age of Conor Benn, he was he was a unified champion. Conor Benn's not even close to being a world champion. Listen, Conor Benn's a good fighter. You know, he's improved massively, and I was shocked yesterday. I said to you on live stream that I was shocked what he did. I think he performed brilliantly. I didn't think he would do what he did. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think he would do what he did. I didn't think he'd go and blast that guy in a round. It was a brilliant performance. But let's pump the brakes a little bit. It's against Samuel Vargas. You know, Vargas isn't a world beater. He isn't a world beater by any stretch. Vargas isn't no killer. Vargas is Vargas. He's a top-level journeyman for the top guys that generally for the former world champions beat him. He hasn't beaten anyone of top level or anyone would note. Collazo, Khan, Garcia, Spence, they all beat him. So we need to pump the brakes a little bit, right? And chill out. You know, he's not beaten. You know, this isn't even a faded Barrera. This is a guy that's never reached any kind of, you know, world championship level. He's never, has Vargas ever fought for a world title? I don't think he has. Never fought for a world title. Maybe with Garcia, possibly. Was Garcia champion when he fought him? I doubt it. Because Garcia moved up, didn't he? I don't know whether he was world champion at the point. I doubt it. I doubt Danny Garcia was a world champion at that point. But we've got to, you know, it was a good win. Let's not get carried away. But if he was serious, why is he calling out Amir Khan? Amir Khan's not active. He hasn't fought. The last time he fought was against Billy Dib. Why not call out Jaron Ennis? Why not call out Virgil Ortiz? Why not call out David Avanesian? Right? Why not call out those guys? And those guys, by the way, they're not killers by any stretch. They're not world champions, neither of those guys. Virgil Ortiz never been a world champion. Jaron Ennis never been a world champion. And David Avanesian, he held an interim WBA world title, but that's not, I'm talking proper world champion. Was he a proper world champion? Was he a super world champion? Because we know the WBA has interim, super, we have so many belts. But why not call out those guys that are relevant at world level, that are competing at high level? But instead, you know, he's calling out an inactive fighter. Fight the top boys. Fight the guys that are going to get you relevant. That if you beat Avanesian, you can say, you know what, you're ready for Porter. You're ready for a Thurman. You're ready for a Errol Spence. Right? Because then he would be ready for those names. But right now, beating Samuel Vargas doesn't mean he's ready, because Samuel Vargas is a tune-up fight for most top-level guys. When Amir Khan fought him, he was a tune-up fight. When Danny Garcia fought him, he was a tune-up fight. When Errol Spence fought him, it was a tune-up fight. When Collazo fought him, Collazo was at the end and he still beat him. This is what I'm trying to say, that we need to, Virgil Ortiz leads beat. Now, Conor Benn outdid all of those guys, but what we've got to remember is that guy had taken a beating off all those guys. He'd been in tough fights. So Conor Benn got a softer touch. Listen, it was a great performance. Let's not take anything away from it. It was a great performance and he deserves respect, because I didn't think he would do that to him. So he deserves credit and respect for that performance. However, that doesn't mean that he's going to go and wipe away a Sean Porter, or he's going to go and wipe out, you know, someone of that level. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. He has to prove it against an Avanesian, a Jaron Ennis, and a Virgil Ortiz. Even if he fights Amir Khan, beats him, wipes him out, right? Right? What does that prove? Doesn't prove anything. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say to people. We need to pump the brakes a little bit. Amir Khan responded in his tweet to Conor Benn, and I thought he said what he was perfect. What does he gain from that fight? Think about it. What does he gain? Apart from money, and is there a lot of money in there? What does he gain? Well, if he beats Conor Benn, right? If he beats Conor Benn, think about it. If Amir Khan beats Conor Benn, will you look at Amir Khan's career as any greater? Or you think, wow, he beat Conor Benn? Would you look at that win like that? Would you, if he beats Conor Benn, would you look at Amir Khan's career as any greater than what it's been? Or say, you know what? That's his legacy stamp now. He beat Conor Benn. If he beats Conor Benn, they're just going to say, oh, he beat nobody, beat a guy that was a prospect. If Conor Benn beats him, it's embarrassing because he just lost to a prospect. He's 34. He's old. He's not in his prime. He doesn't fight regular. Fights that he should be having are guys like Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis that are going to do him good. That if he wins those fights, then we know this guy's the real deal. But like I said to you in a previous video, the reason why they were calling out Amir Khan previously is because they feel that Amir Khan's past his best. Conor Benn's on the way up, right? And Amir Khan's a big name because the next step that they're going to have to take is going to have to be a tough fight. But even Tony Sims, he doesn't want the Amir Khan fight next. Go watch his interview with Boxing Social. Tony Sims said that the Khan fight, probably not the next fight, but maybe after that. Tony Sims is a very, very good trainer. He's not just going to rush Conor Benn in with anyone that he knows that potentially could be dangerous. Even though Amir Khan's on the slide, Amir Khan's not going to fall away like that. He's going to have he's going to have fast combinations waiting for him. Even if, listen, right now, I'd have to say Conor Benn, for me, wins that fight. Because I don't know what Amir's got left. But I don't think Amir's not going to get taken out like that. That's for sure. If you just think he's just going to get hit with 1-2 shots and start curling up on the ropes. Because Amir will throw his hands as well. And he's fast as well. I don't know, again, I don't know what his speed is left. But in his 5-6 years ago, we all know that what we saw yesterday from Conor Benn is nothing compared to how fast Amir was. So let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic. The guy's not in his he's not in his prime. Conor Benn needs to fight some of the killers in the division. Jaron Ennis looked unbelievable yesterday against Sergey Lipnets. Unbelievable. He is the real deal. I reckon that boy beats Virgil Ortiz and Conor Benn. That guy is really, really good. And by the way, he beat a better fighter than Conor Benn in Lipnets. He beat a better fighter than, not Conor Benn, sorry. He beat a better fighter than what Conor Benn beat yesterday in Lipnets. Lipnets was a very good fighter. So, again, I think Conor Benn needs to fight one of them. And if he is able to... See, Avanesian's the perfect fight. As Joe Gallagher pointed out, everyone's saying he's past British level. If he doesn't want to fight Mickinson... If he doesn't want to fight Mickinson, who's the British... I think, isn't he the British champion? Or is it Jenkins? Or then fight Avanesian if he's past British level. Fight Avanesian. That's a great fight. But I never heard him calling out Avanesian. You know? Yeah, Avanesian just destroyed Josh Kelly. Listen, if Josh Kelly had beaten Avanesian, then that obviously would have been a great fight. And that would have been... you know what? It still could be a great fight. But Kelly's lost, and I don't think Conor Benn wants that. He doesn't want that. But again, I think Conor Benn, I think it's all about matchmaking right now. They're just looking for... they think that Amir Khan's way past it, and they think that's the biggest pay-per-view fight, so they're looking for that one. I don't blame him from his point of view, but like Amir Khan said, he's got nothing to gain. Nothing to gain. Nothing to gain. And that's just the truth. It's kind of like passing over the torch, someone said. Yeah, but it's passing over the torch for... That only benefits Conor Benn, you know? So, Amir Khan's not going to fight Conor Benn. There's nothing to gain for him. Conor Benn should be fighting... Conor Benn, for me, should be fighting the likes of Jaron Ennis and guys like that. And he should be calling those guys out. Then I would say, wow, this kid really wants that smoke with the top guys, up prospects like himself, right? Now, the Virgil Ortiz fight, a lot of people are saying, well, Virgil Ortiz need to build that fight up, 2 young guys. But nowadays, we get young prospects fighting one another. So why not? You know, Avanesian, that's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. You know, he could lose that fight. But I don't know. I just think that as of right now, I just don't think I don't think that Amir Khan's going to be interested. If Conor Benn was a world champion, then yeah, it'd bite Conor Benn's hand off most likely, because Conor Benn's a world champ. But as of right now, Conor Benn's a guy that's at British level, and Amir Khan's not. He's already said that he wants to fight Kell Brook. That's the fight he wants, and that's the fight that makes sense for him right now. Not the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn doesn't do anything for Amir Khan. Conor Benn, yeah, it doesn't do anything for Amir Khan. Listen, like I said, Conor Benn looked great last night. Looked great, but I want to see him fight an Avanesian. I think that's a great fight. Why not do that? That's a great fight. But he's definitely a talent, definitely a good fighter, definitely a guy that's improved a lot. And that's what you got to give him credit for, because let's be honest, when we first saw him, a lot of people thought he wouldn't even go past British level. You know, they weren't impressed. But he's really improved. He's come a long way. He's come a long way. But now it's time, for me, he's ready for that next step up. That step up where it's a 50-50 fight, like an Avanesian. And some people may even have Avanesian as a favourite. Maybe these are the kind of fights where he needs to kind of fuel him. So I personally think those are the fights for him that he should be looking at. I'd love the Ennis fight. Ennis v Benn would be a great fight. I don't think, obviously, Eddie Hearn's not going to be looking to put him in against Ennis anytime soon, because Ennis is an absolute beast. They didn't even mention those guys' names. You know, the only fight he kept talking about is one name, which I don't know. I don't know why, you know, that name was talked about. I don't know why Khan's name was talked about so much. Think about it, at the same age, right? Same age as Conor Benn, Amir had fought Maidana, Kotelnik, Zab Judah, Paulie Malignaggi, Barrera, Julio Diaz. I think he probably fought Julio Diaz as well. I don't know, maybe might have not fought Julio Diaz. But look at the names that he's fought at that age, and look at the names that this guy is fighting. Fair enough, I get it. He's not had the amateur background that Amir Khan had. Amir Khan was a silver medalist, and I get that. But again, now's the time for him to be calling out, you know, the guys that are serious in the division. Serious in the division. And another thing I wanna correct is people saying that Amir Khan fought Barrera at 34 and he was past his prime. Amir Khan wasn't calling Barrera out, though. That fight just got made because Barrera wanted to go back to get to the top, and Amir Khan was going for a world title shot. Amir Khan has no intention of fighting for a world title fight anymore. He's already said that he wants to fight Kell Brook, and that's it, maybe. He has no intention. There's a difference. Amir Khan wasn't calling out Barrera. That fight got made because Barrera felt he still had something to offer and he could beat Amir Khan. Amir wasn't coming after the O'Sheen Fagan fight and calling out Barrera. I want Barrera next. I want Barrera next. That wasn't the case. The fight just got made. There's a difference. This guy is shouting his name. He's calling out Khan's name. There's a difference. Amir Khan wasn't shouting out Barrera's name. I want to fight Barrera. I want to fight Barrera. He wasn't shouting out his name. So, to be fair, I think there's a big difference there. I think there's a big difference there. So, at the end, listen, Ben's a good fighter. He can fight. But we need to see him against some of the other boys in the division, like your Ennis, your Ortiz, you know, guys like that. I think those prospects, I'd love to see those fights, because then you'll know if he's the real deal. And Avanesian, listen, Avanesian's not young. He's in his 30s. Avanesian's not young. He's a European champion. And if he wins that fight, then he's literally knocking on the door for a world title fight, because they're talking about Avanesian fighting for a world title. If Avanesian's going to fight for a world title, right, then why not fight, you know, why not fight Avanesian and then fight for a world title after that? I don't get it. I think that would be the perfect move, because Ennis and Ortiz will be very dangerous right now. Avanesian, I think he's more winnable, and it's definitely a fight which will put him in position maybe for a mandatory challenger of one of the titles. Maybe he could get a shot at Spence. Maybe he could get a shot at Crawford. Or maybe he won't look for those names. Maybe he'll look for a Porter. straight after. Who knows? You know, so I personally think that, yeah, let's see. Let's see, man. I think there's a long way to go. I think people at the minute are getting a little bit carried away. We don't know how good he is yet, because sometimes a fight like that can flatter you. You know, I remember when Khan came back against Le Greco, he looked fantastic. But then in the fight after that, he looked terrible against Vargas. And then against Crawford, he looked worse. Sometimes a fight can, these type of fights can flatter you. But let's take it one step at a time. Let him fight Avanesian. If he does that to Avanesian, then we know that this guy's he's a real talent. He's a real talent. But I just think, you know, some of the hate that has been sent to Amir Khan is out of order. Out of order. Look at what he's achieved in the game, right? At that age. Look at what Conor Benn's achieved at right now. It's not even comparable, right? And let's see in 10 years' time if he can surpass or outdo his career like a lot of these people are saying. Let's see. Let's see, because he's got a long way to go. He's got a long, long way to go. Even to become a world champion is not going to be easy. Trust me. It's going to be very, very difficult. Because forget about the world champions. Even the guys below that are very good. Very, very good. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Jaron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Alusinov. Even guys like Josecito Lopez knocking around. Jesse Vargas. These are no easy fights, no gimme fights. These are tough fights. They ain't going to fall over with a couple of punches, that's for sure. These are top quality. See, you're not going to bang everybody out in like that. It's just not going to happen. Avanesian, that's a great fight. That's a natural fight, in my opinion. But I don't know whether I don't know whether Eddie Hearn's gonna put him in that fight. And I don't think his trainer is very smart. His trainer, even though I personally think right now he would be a favorite against Amir Khan, and you'd have to say he beats Amir Khan, his trainer wasn't even confident about that fight being next. He was talking about having another fight, then maybe after that. Tony Sims is a very good trainer. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's not foolish like some of the fans. He knows exactly and how to pace him. Look at their matchmaking. His matchmaking's been brilliant. So I think a lot of credit needs to be given to his trainer, Tony Sims. What a brilliant trainer that guy is. He doesn't say a lot. You know, and I'm pretty sure this was the guy that, before McCracken got involved, he was the one that was, especially early on in AJ's career, bringing AJ along. He's a very good trainer. And I hope Conor Benn stays with Tony Sims in the sense that when he gets to that world level, if he gets to that world level, he doesn't, you know, do what... I don't know whether Sims is still in the corner with Joshua. I don't know how... Because I know McCracken's his trainer, but, you know, hopefully he sticks with Sims, you know, and doesn't go elsewhere. Because, like I said, I think Tony Sims is a very, very good trainer. And I think the way he's bringing him along, the way he speaks, brilliant, man. The guy's a great trainer. He speaks well. He knows with boxing. And that's... He's got a great head over his shoulders. And, you know, when you got someone like Conor who's very feisty, young, hungry, he wants it now, you know. Tony Sims is that, you know, he's got a great head over his shoulders, know exactly what he needs to do and how he needs to pace him. And I'm pretty sure, you know, he has a lot of influence on what's going on. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Ben makes the final decision, but I think, you know, he probably values Tony Sims' opinion very highly, which rightfully so, because the guy is definitely a great trainer. Respect to Tony Sims. I think he's done a great job with Conor Benn. And look how much he's improved him. This guy was a guy that nobody thought may not even reach British level, and he's now potentially knocking on fringe world level. You know, gotta give Tony Sims respect. You know, a lot of people talking about Conor Benn, and yes, it is him going out and performing, but Sims is the one that's also got, you know, had a big hand behind it. So fair play and big respect to Tony Sims, because he's really helped Conor Benn develop. But yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think about what Amir Khan said, what Conor Benn saying. What do you want to see him fight next? Do you think Avanesian is the perfect fight? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.